Columbia River Knife and Tool, Foresight, model K220 KKP. This is a Nutnfancy review. After carrying the knife around a while and playing with it lots, I come up with about 2 different philosophies of use on this knife. No joke. Can you guess what they might be? Might surprise you. I would say the first philosophy of use is fondling blade. Yep, that's what I call a knife that's just fun to play with, to actuate. The Foresight is extremely fast and smooth. That makes it a fun knife to actuate over and over again. Features a CRKT IKBS, that's a mouthful, ball bearing system, which makes the deployment exceptionally smooth. And yes, fast. It's a captured ball bearing system. We've talked about it in some other reviews like the CRKT Ripple. I love it. We'll see how it stands the test of time, hard use, dirt, and grime. I don't have those answers yet. Not really looking for them either. I don't think it's really going to matter on the CRKT Foresight, because as a fondling blade, a recreational blade that is, it's just fun to play with, I don't think it's going to see a lot of hard use. That's not to say some of y'all aren't putting your Foresight into lots of hard use. Maybe as an EDC blade. Okay, but that's you. That's not me. Because this sucker is 6.6 ounces. And that's just too darn heavy for me to integrate it to my system as a utility knife. It sinks it for me. Should be no surprise to TMP knife fans. You know, it's always been that way. 6.6 ounces? No. Not even close. It's just too darn heavy. Not an EDC blade. It's too big, too. That's a large blade, 3.5 inches. Not to say there aren't other ones that will function that way, but it's a broad and long blade for EDC use. So fondling knife, I would say maybe a collectible, especially a looker, because it is a handsome blade. Check out the lines. Ken Onion design, the Foresight, very organic, lots of curvature, just like you've seen a lot of other Ken Onion designs. How about tactical? Well, what do you think? I would say probably not, Nutnfancy. You are correct. No, not for me. It just, to me, it lacks ultimate traction. Overall, it's a very slick knife. Albeit it does have the milled-in grooves for the fingers. That looks cool, but it's still very slick in hand. So I would say probably not on tactical. Your mileage, as I've always said, may vary. The overall feel, however, other than being fast and smooth, it actually is quite balanced in hand. I don't think it's maybe slightly front heavy, but overall good. I don't notice any hot spots either, ergonomically speaking, at least on the handle. The blade is AUS 8 hollow ground, modified drop point, black titanium nitride coated, nice flats for sharpening right here. It comes wicked sharp out of box. I like AUS 8. Genuine AUS 8. It's a great steal. For the price. There's your markings on there. IKBS, the ball bearing system they have. Nice belly on the blade too. Adequately sharp tip. It's kind of reminiscent of a lot of the Kershaw Ken Onion designs to me. You can see the family resemblance in the Foresight. This does come in a partially serrated version. It's got the triple point serrations on it. I don't like those. I think they'll rip. About the only serrations CRKT does that I'm really stoked on are the VEF serrations. I like those. Those are just sick, and they look mean too. So great job on the sharpening, good relief edge. It does not need to be reprofiled out of box. This the Foresight. First production model on this. Woo! Rounded spine. That's a feature we're seeing in a lot of different knives. If you ever want to use it for fire steel, that might be a problem. It does look good. It's kind of a semi-custom touch, the way I think of it. Speed, I think we've already established, is excellent. It's a flipper design, though, and you'll note a complete lack of thumb studs. You may or may not like that. Me, I don't like it. Not for a 6.6 ounce knife. I want different options. Come back here, and the flipper is actually kind of small. You see it protruding right there. Not super huge. Nice deep finger choil right there though. Mainly formed by the handle design, as you can see. Speed, phenomenal, of course. At least when it's new and uncluttered in the bearing system. No movement up and down, really tight lockup. It's an inner frame lock. You can see the engagement surface here. Stainless steel lock bar there. It seems really strong to me, and I'm glad to see it doesn't have any of the locks mechanisms or anything like that. Sometimes CRKT does. Listen to the lockup. There's your blade centering. Pretty tight if you ask me. How about the retention? Looks like the detent's working fine for me. That's a 420 stainless steel, I think, lock, by the way. Handle, as you can see, is made of aluminum. It's cold forged, is what CRKT says. Okay. I don't. The reason I say it like that is I don't know if I need a cold forged handle. You know, it has an aluminum backspacer on it, I think. It's cool. I mean, it's kind of a cool marketing thing. Cold forged handle. I care more about the blade than I do the handle. I don't want it denting up. It's going to scratch over time. I didn't really hard use it and get a lot of wear on this yet. I'm not super sure how that's going to wear, but from what we've seen from other aluminum coatings, you expect to see it rubbing off. Nice big lanyard hole here. Probably appropriate for this size knife. The problem with a tactical philosophy of use is there's a couple points. One, it's just so slick. Great for fondling. I mean, it just feels smooth in hand. Very technical. Might be a good adjective for that. But when we talk about tactical use, maybe not so much. And yes, complete lack of jimping or a thumb ramp up top. That's a miss. It just is. On the upside, you do have a deep handle, which we've already mentioned. Deep finger choil. So that's good. So maybe, just maybe, you could flex it into that very regrettable self-defense roll if you have to. It's got a very cool clip on it, though. I love the clip on the Foresight. It's very small, unobtrusive, and strong. It carries a knife well. I didn't really carry it in any tactical pants, but in jeans I did. Nutnfancy, you wear jeans? Totally. I like that clip. And it's blackened, very low profile. The overall look for the knife, very handsome. It's a looker. I think I said that in its own philosophy of use. It's just a looker, nice collectible knife. Unfortunately, non-repositionable, that clip, and it's tip down only. So it's right hand position, non-reversible. Wah, wah. I don't really see any durability issues on this knife, except maybe the IKBS getting grit in it. I haven't taken it apart and serviced it to see if you could clean it out. It does a little bit worry me. I'm not sure. It is user serviceable. I'm talking about the knife itself. Many torques put together, so it's not pinned. And that takes us to competitive options. How about its stablemate, the CRKT Shenanigan 6061? By the way, the price on this will be around $90. Upper right is where I recommend to go buy it. It's the best price I can get it for you, with my contacts at least. By the way, I love the Shenanigan. That's an aluminum handle. 4 ounces Aus-8 steel. So it's basically another Ken Onion design, as you can see. Good jimping on the top. Kind of a overly large clip on this one. I just love the Shenanigan though. It's 2.6 ounces lighter than this one. This is a tactical blade the way I look at it. Just saying. Bead blasted aluminum. Almost looks like titanium. It's just a great looking knife. This one's going to be cheaper too. I didn't write the price down, but I think it's going to be like $40 cheaper. How about this one? Seen it lots. I just like rolling in front because it's such an awesome blade. Cold steel AK-47 full size. Waveable from the pocket. Aus-8A steel in this one. Hollow ground. Clip blade. Super high traction G10. Triad lock. Thumping mechanism on the bottom. I should say the heel of the knife. I love that. Deep, deep choils, front and rear. That's a tactical blade right there. AK-47, about $66, 5.3 ounces once again. It's an alternative. I just grabbed a couple of these out of the drawer. No particular order. I hope you guys never think it's really orchestrated which knives I compare them against. It's like, I'll do this one, I'll do that one. This one I reviewed just a little while ago. It's a much more expensive knife, but it's a heavy duty tactical blade, and that is the Hogue Elishewitz designed EX01 in Damascus, 4.3 ounces, 154 cm steel. It's a great blade. I like the Damascus better than the aluminum version. That's my pre-profiled clip, like I showed you in the review. That's going to be about twice the price of the Foresight, though. But to me, this is a tactical blade, albeit it doesn't have superior jimping on the top. There you go. And then last but not least, I just rolled this in another review. It's handy, but I like reminding you guys of it. The freaking 3.6 ounce SOG Trident AUS 8 cryoed steel, $54, deep carry bayonet clip with that ridiculous rub cutting function that I would never use, never have. It sucks. But the knife itself is excellent. Kind of in a different ballpark for weight, though. I mean, heck, it's less than half the weight of the Foresight. So in summary, I would say the upsides to the very good looking Columbia River Knife and Tool Model K220 KKP Foresight would be it's handsome. It's all blacked out, very thematic. It's fast, it's strong. It has deep carry. It's going to pretty much disappear in your pocket, albeit it's not the thinnest knife out there, never mind the weight. It has a nice sharp blade, great belly, flats for resharpening. The downsides are, as previously mentioned, 6.6 ounces. That is a tank of a knife. There's no jimping. Tip down carry is forced. That's a Nutnfancy review.